Okay, connecting. It says we're connected now. We'll see shortly, in just a moment. Welcome to the channel, lads and ladies. Hope you're enjoying yourselves, having a good day. I'm just about to go live here. In fact, I should be live. There we go. I can see me. Okay, let's get the phone set up to my channel so that I can view your comments. Let's see. There we go. Turn that down. Perfect. All right. Welcome, lads and ladies, to Inception Thunder. That's not Inception. Moving right along. I just had a great match, and I've been thinking about something this morning, and that's that I want to do more subscriber replays, but I also have like literally dozens of videos I want to make, and a major patch is about to drop. Suffice to say, I probably won't be making a whole lot of subscriber replays for the next, I don't know, week or two. We'll see. And that's too bad, because I really love the subscriber replays, and I really love to see you guys getting exposure out there. It's been my total pleasure, and I definitely want to keep doing subscriber replays. I'm just kind of a little bit sad that I can't do more of them, is what I'm saying. And that brings me to today. I just had a really interesting match. It wasn't one where I got great results, but I was happy with the amount of skill that I was demonstrating, and just some wild and fun stuff happened. But at the same time, I have my recording software set up to record 5 minutes at a time, just because I've been catching little clips, and it gets really janky if you're saving a clip and trying to record a clip at the same time. So I thought, what I'd like to do is to go into the replay and make a replay video out of it. But at the same time, I don't really have a lot of time to edit, and I thought, how about we do this live and you guys get to see me go through the process of making, as it were, a subscriber replay for myself. So, what do you need to do? Well, first, you got to go to YouTube and you've got to go live. So, as you can see, we're live streaming. You can see the stream here. I put in a title down in this spot, and we'll have to change this one. Let's learn together. Smiley face. I love to smile at people, so I use smile emojis a lot. Now, we're going to need a new thumbnail, so let's go make that now. Let's go into Community, Replays. Crazy was the name of this one, and it was a crazy match. If you look at the scoreboard, 3 air kills, 3 ground kills, a couple of assists, couple of base caps, and 4 deaths. I was in the thick of it. And then the rest of my team got some ground kills, a few air kills, but overall the enemy team was dominating us with those kills. So they wiped out most of our team, and there was just a few people hanging on, and you will see what that looks like in a bit. So I just showed you how to get to replays, Community, Replays, View Replay. We're getting into it. Once it loads up, we'll be able to start recording. Now, I use the GeForce Experience to record my videos. It works well for me. This program here is called Shadowplay. As you can see, I've turned off instant replay, and we're gonna record it as we go. But we're actually not recording it because we're broadcasting live using my boy OBS. So, confusing enough for you? Basically, if you're actually making a video, this is what you would be in. Here's your replay. And then I started in the T14, so I pressed space to pause. And now I'm going to get a screenshot. Maybe... Ooh. See how the sun is right there? I don't know. I don't really like that angle. So a quick note for screenshots. Let's talk about exposure. This is photography stuff. And I've studied photography both casually and in classes in school, and I usually did fairly well. This is good exposure, right? You have light on the subject and light on the background. People can see what you're trying to take a picture of. This one has a little bit more depth. You see a little bit of shadow. That can be nice. It's a bit of a dynamic effect there from this angle. You see? So when you're taking your screenshots, that's a good thing to keep in mind. Now, bush tank is going to not look so good in a screenshot, obviously, because the bushes are hiding everything. But what about this angle? Can you see what's wrong with this one? The light is nice on the background, even a little bit overexposed in the top right here, but it's all dark here on the subject. And so if the subject is really dark, it's generally not quite so interesting unless you have a good sunset or something behind you to add some flair to your subject. So when you're looking for a thumbnail, that's just something to keep in mind. Now, hotkeys for replay. F5 takes me to a fixed camera on my vehicle, or whatever vehicle I have selected, via the sidebars here. When you're actually recording, if you want to show the UI, I recommend closing these sidebars, because they get in the way. And then also I close this one, because that information doesn't really display well. Anyway, hey TIE Fighters, and War Thunder and On, it's good to see you guys. I'm just showing how to make a replay video. So I had an interesting match, and I can press the semicolon button here, just to the right of your L key, and that takes you into player view. So now you're going to see what I saw for the most part in the match, and unfortunately there's no way to get rid of this top bar. So at this point I would start recording by pressing Alt F9, but we're already streaming this live, so let's just watch this together. Now, at the start of a match, there's usually less going on, so I would just give a little bit of narration about maybe what's going on today. We're seeing a crazy match that I had in the Allied 4.3. We're in a 4.7 battle, so it's probably not the best idea for me to take out the T-14. A T-14 performs very well when it's in a top tier, but not so well in even a slight up tier because of the powerful weapons that can come against it. And even at 3.3, you're going to face things like the 3.7 is the Chi-Nu 2, and at 3.3 you have the Panzer IV F2, both things that can give you tons of trouble, but your gun can punch through them reasonably well. So if you have something to talk about, it's okay to not skip through that early part, but you can press page up and page down to speed things along or slow them down as appropriate. Now here I'm just kind of scanning the horizon and being aggressive as I push forward. Along the beach there's always one or two people trying to flank here, so it's not a bad idea in the T-14 to try and one-on-one people and hold this beachhead until I take down a flanker and then support the work at the A point. And I wasn't really paying attention to the map, so I didn't know that the A point was reasonably well manned by my team until everyone started dying. Now I'm trying to drop around over that hill at the Chi-Nu 2, and honestly I think that was pretty close, but we didn't manage to hit him, and there's too much smoke from our gun to see what actually happened there. Now if I turn off name tags, then you see what I see, which is no enemy name tags. And I couldn't make out what was over that hill. Not the best magnification on the scope, and I look and there it is, black the ammo rack. Ammo just kind of disappears. I guess they have better blowout doors than the M1 Abrams. And the Panzer Flak just laughs at me, I guess, and I had no effect. I take a shot to the turret. I didn't know if that was from the Flak 88 or the Chi-Nu 2. Now I spot that rust-colored devil peeking out to the side. Gunner comes back, but it's already too late. I get taken down by a T-34. Surprising no one. T-34, very good penetration qualities on his gun, even against sloped armor, regardless of the fact that it's only a 76mm cannon. But who am I to complain? It's not like nobody else gets normalization like that. Now it's going to be a little bit before I respawn, so we just have to wait for the replay system to stop being drunk. And now that we're back here, the replay system, again, very annoying when it comes to things like this. And look at this beautiful weeb camo we have on the PBJ-1H. Good stuff. TIE Fighter, so were you trying to say yo or oi? Because he said oi, my boy. Anyway, now that we're getting into position, I can speed things up a little bit, and I wouldn't even probably be recording at this point. I want to start recording when the action starts. Now we're shooting at some targets. That looks like a duck down there, so we're unloading on him with the 50 cals. Looks like we're getting a few hits, even at range. Lots of guns on this bird. And boom! And we're going so fast here. Look how close we got to the water. That is some hot dog medium bomber piloting, I tell you that. And of course this is classified as an attacker, but the thing flies like a heavy medium bomber, because that's exactly what it is. So we know that there's targets down on the beach. There's probably still the Flak 88 sitting around the A point. See some fire coming in. I think about going heads up with that AA, but I changed my mind. Looks like enemies are coming toward our A point, which can be quite the problem for us. Line up the gun and one shot the T-34 through the roof. How slick is that? Tasty. Man, that was good. So at this point I could pause the video and I could get some, you know, creative shots. Let's say if we go Control F5, brings us into free cam. And, you know, before the point where we blew up that T-34, I'm just giving you an example because we're teaching you how to make replays here. When we're in free cam, oh, he already respawned. So we could get nice and close in, as you see, to where that T-34 was right here for the kill shot coming from above. And the guy complained in chat. It was great. I love it when you balance someone so hard that they whine in chat about it. It's pretty good stuff. Look at this beast, the KV-1S, I believe, or is it a KV-85? That is a pretty scary gun. Anyway, let's go back to me. So at this point, maybe what I'll do is get my screenshot, because these guys have seen some things, right? And I always I like the cell shading on these guys' faces. That's pretty cool stuff. That's a good shot. Let's get right up in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. These guys have seen some stuff. F12 catches me a screenshot without the UI, and we carry on. Now, let's talk about, let's see, I think I'm about to die here. Maybe? No. So we're turning around. Again, we're being fired on by, it looks like 1 or 2 Wirbelwinds. You can tell that they're Wirbelwinds because they fire 4 lines of tracers, and their shells, the high explosive, are on a fuse, so they explode themselves at a certain range. That's an ally tank. He's shooting at something and I can't see what it is, so I drop the bombs and scoot on down the beach, looking around, taking some fire from something. There's an IL-2. He's probably gonna target me. I'm a big target and IL-2 has good guns, so I'm going to try and turn around and engage the enemy. And I was struggling a bit with going between gunner view and looking for targets and pilot view, and the plane is skewing all over the place as we're taking damage. One thing I've noticed about the current state of War Thunder Air forces is that planes start acting very strangely when you start taking damage. I think that that's always been there in AirRB, but they've cranked up the numbers on it for loss of control when control surfaces or even the pilot takes damage. Speaking of, here is one of my favorite air superiority fighters at 3.7, the XP-55. And Tyson, you know all about this plane. I am at a friend's, says War Thunder Anonymous. Cool, man. I've seen a few of your videos. Keep making videos. I'd love to see people starting up their channels. I mean, I started like about a year ago making War Thunder videos, even maybe like 10 months. And I've really just been blown away by the things that I've learned and the people I've met. And War Thunder Anonymous, he's a small YouTuber. He's just starting out, and he doesn't have really complicated equipment. So, you know, I didn't even have a mic until a friend of mine believed in me, and I was trying to take down that IL-2, but he flew directly into an M16 GMC anti-aircrafter and got ripped apart. Even in a flying tank like the IL-2, it's not a good idea to prolong your head-on attacks against AA. I see some bombs drop, so I know there's an enemy aircraft somewhere in the area. I can hear a prop, and I hear him behind me. Now things are getting interesting. There it is, looks like a Yak, maybe a Yak 9? Not quite sure, they all look the same to me. But he fired once, I heard him fire, and then he just turns away from me. So, I mean, I guess you're welcome. So I turn around, and now I'm engaging him on his tail, and again he flies straight into the M16 and gets shredded to pieces. Now I hear another aircraft behind me. Looking around trying to spot him. There he is, he's on my 6. He opens fire. I can hear his Shavak and his 50 cal Berezin UB machine gun trying to take me down. So I enter a vertical spiral, trying to drain his energy fast because the XP-55 is very good in the vertical. And here a little bit of a roll just to keep his guns off of me. He's being engaged by an ally fighter, and he decides to break off of my 6, which is just fine by me. My low range acceleration is even better than his. He's pulling around. Not sure whether he's trying to target me or my ally. I think he's kind of chosen poorly here. He gets into a low energy maneuver, and we just missed with the guns. Getting really close to lining up with him. He's draining his own speed quite rapidly here with these vertical and horizontal maneuvers. Won't be long before we catch him. We pop flaps. Maximum roll, maximum elevator. Can we get on his tail fast enough to save our ally? Yes, apparently. We've set him aflame. A fuego, as it were. Not quite lining up the gun with the elevation. Now trying to spray and finish him before our allied AA takes him down and takes me down as well. Thanks a lot, guys. And we do, as you can see the little 2 down there for aircraft, manage to finish him off. Okay, who's next? How about you? You look like you want some. It's a Japanese key something or other. Shouldn't be a problem to take him down. They tend to turn when they get engaged because they're used to outturning things. And we rip him a new one. Very nice. Okay, that brings us up to 3 air kills, which I already know now. We're not going to have any more than that. So at this point, I'll speed things up. Things are not going to end well for me in the XP-55. In fact, looking at the map, I've made the decision that it's time to get out of the XP-55, and I kill a crew member in that Stug on the way down. Now, we're in one of my favorite, in fact, this is possibly my favorite tank in the game, because there's nothing quite like it, and the M4 Sherman is already one of my favorite vehicles. I see some fire coming from our AA truck here, trying to see if he's spotting something for me. I'm well aware that enemies are spawn camping us at this time. Something in those bushes, perhaps. It's definitely by that bunker. Open up with the machine gun and then the rockets. I get a hit, so I keep firing rockets, and look at that! We take out the Stug with, or the Hetzer, sorry, even though it's not a Hetzer. Let's see, Jagdpanzer 38T. With a rocket to the machine gun. So, we've paused. Let's get closer in and take a look at that damage. That's a lot of damage. Now this would be a great time again to zoom in on this tank and look at what we've done with him. And one downside to rockets, as far as replays go, is they can obscure. Where even is this guy? There he is. I see an explosion, right? Where the heck did I hit? Maybe he's cold because of the yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that guy is. Where was he? Well, that's odd. I mean, there you go. And we're already we're shooting at shadows here because we don't know where the enemy is. And as you can see, we have plenty of rockets to spare, so why not spam some? I mentioned that those rockets make an obscuring cloud of smoke, which is a great form of quick smoke shell. And you can see with the outline there is an enemy tank, and that's going to turn out to be a Chi-Nu 2 pushing up the road there. We will deal with him some more later. But already, from a disadvantageous position, we've managed to take down a Hetzer, which is rather impressive, I should say. Can you imagine trying to face a Hetzer from the front with a regular M4 Sherman? But with a lucky hit with the rockets, we managed to take him down before he could even get eyes on us. So that is just fine by me. A crazy, crazy match to be sure. Now, we see that Chi-Nu 2 coming around the side, and we know that he's going to just barrel through there with his gun and try and get a shot at our booty. We shoot some rockets to blind him so he can't tell where we are, and we're managed to get some hits on him, so we keep firing rockets. And of course at this point there's no outline, so we can't see where he is. We're just kind of guessing here with the rockets, shooting in his general direction. And can we finish him off? Yes! A nice hit to that upper frontal plate takes him down. Again, 2 kills with the rockets, something you can never do with a regular M4 Sherman. Outnumbered, being flanked by that the Stug that should have died to our rockets, but I'm not bitter. We get a nice hit into him, but we've taken some serious damage, and we get taken down by the NATO. Not a bad performance given the circumstances by any means, and for no reason at all. These stupid sidebars pop up again, so I gotta close them down. These are the things you gotta deal with when you're making a subscriber replay. So we're still watching me, but I'm not sure if I want to respawn in anything. If you look at the map, you can tell hello, free cam. Okay, fine, no free cam. That's fine. We'll watch somebody else. You can tell that things are not going well for us here. Come on, replay system, wake up. Okay, replay's drunk, we can't use free cam. Whatever. So you can tell that from looking at the map, our team is not doing well. We're being spawn camped. All the caps are being held by the enemy, and look how many people are down there at the B point now. You can see all of their outlines in the replay. Not a good situation at all. And look at this poor M4. Right, what can you do? What can you do against a KV-1 when they're that close to you? Not a whole heck of a lot, but manages to take him down and get taken out by a suiciding airstrike. Best matches, my friends. Absolutely best matches, bar none. So I decided to jump back in the match, just on the off chance I'd be able to do something in the last seconds, but there was nothing I could do. And sometimes that's just the way it is. But you know what? It ended up being a crazy match. Once I got over the frustration, you know, it's always a little bit disheartening when your team's not doing well. But it's really cool to take some neat vehicles like the Sherman Calliope and the XP55 and show you things that they can do that you just can't do in any other vehicle. The XP55 with its low speed performance is just a dream, and in Air RB it's a stealth plane because it's so tiny, and you know, your camouflage is actually a brown color, which does not contrast with the ground hard at all. A very good airplane for Tank RB. Anti-aircrafting. And the Calliope, I mean, you saw. You can use your rockets as a smoke screen. You can use them to take down enemies who are hiding behind cover or in positions where they can't even get a shot at you. They provide great firepower support at the battle rating ranges that you'll find the Sherman Calliope, and the gun is still that good, reliable Sherman gun that has poor penetration but great post-pen effect. Anyway, guys, that was a lot of fun. So we have our video. You would just, take that into a video editor, and honestly I use Windows Movie Maker which is really simple, but it works for me. And then you also need to make a thumbnail, so let's go into screenshots and I'll show you how I make a thumbnail. I don't know if I've shown you this before, but I have tons and tons of thumbnails here, and here is the picture we took. I've already set it to open up automatically with GIMP. So normally what you would do is launch GIMP and then drag the video or the photo into GIMP, but I already have it open, so no worries about that. And there's a trick that I normally do that I'm not going to do with this video, but I'll still show you how I do it. Actually, I'll show you that one another time. Let's just keep it simple. So it does take GIMP a while to launch. So what I would be doing is be in my video editor and setting up clips and things for how I want it to be while this is launching. And then as soon as this is done, or whenever I'm done editing the video, I can start uploading it to YouTube, and then I can work on the thumbnail while it's uploading. But because this is live, we're gonna put the thumbnail right into our live broadcast. I like to use for my font, let's talk about this. So we've launched GIMP, there's the image, there's our layer, and we can add more layers with this button, but we're not going to do that today. This is going to be a one layer image. It's going to be really simple. Or will it? Actually, let's do something fun. So you see how we're inside the cockpit and you can see like the horizon here? Let's select the horizon. I will show you that trick because I just thought of something cool we can do. So this is a color select tool. It selects things by color. This means that we're going to select multiple things. So we're selecting, as you can see, the color of the background within the image. And things start getting a little bit weird eventually if you keep selecting by color, because it'll select the same color, as you can see on these guys' uniforms, on these places here in the mid background, and that's not what we want. We just want this sunset area right here, right? We just want the sky, and I'll tell you why in a moment. So how do we deselect that? We take our lasso tool, change it over to unselect, or subtract from current selection, and shoop, do-whoop, 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 do-whoop. Go all the way around the horn, and we've unselected everything we want to unselect there. And now we do want to also select a little bit more over here. And go back to our deselect tool. Wait, that's circle. We want lasso. There we go. Don't feel bad if it is difficult to select things properly. Okay, we've selected the sky, the background here. Now what I'm going to do is go select, invert, copy, new layer, and paste, and then anchor it. You see what we did with that layer? We have everything except the sky as an additional layer. Well, what's that going to do? I'll show you. So we go to, let's see, where do we want to put this? We want to put this under. So here's our everything but the sky layer. Here's a new layer that's blank, and there's our base layer. So underneath this, we're going to put our text. And I like to use, this is just the font I use for my channel for the most part, Sitka Banner Bold. And then generally about 300 pixels is a good font size for an image of this size. When you have smaller images, smaller resolution, you're going to want to use a smaller font size. And it just comes down to what looks good to you. So let's go with, it's actually going to be kind of narrow. So let's go with 250 and work with that. And then I want the color to be white. And we'll start there. And then you're like, I can't see anything. Watch this. Da-na-na-na. Isn't that cool? It's not quite as visible as I'd like it to be. But do you see how putting the text behind it like that gives it a sense of depth? So it's just one of those artistic things you can play around with. Maybe that text isn't what we want to do. So let's try something else. That's not bad. Let's change the size on it. Move it around. It's not the best framing, but meh. It's whatever. I don't know if I'm happy with that. What could I put in that background? I don't know. I don't know. Meh. And this is where I run out of ideas. You know what? Let's just be happy with that. Ooh, I think I know. Absolute. Let's scale this text down a small bit. So let's make it 250 again. You there, 250. Absolute. See how it's barely visible? Now we'll merge that down with the lower layer by right-clicking on it and pressing W. And we'll make a new text layer that's on top of this layer. And here we'll use the same font, same color, larger. Yeah! See what we did there? Absolute insanity. I like that. You can sort of tell what this word is, and then this one's there. It's big enough to get your attention and make you ask, you know, what's that? Absolute insanity. I like it. Let's put a period after that. Okay, I'm happy with that thumbnail. Isn't that dynamic? Isn't that interesting? I'm a fan. So, file, and I just overwrite the screenshot because I don't want to have a bunch of files knocking around on my computer. I check to make sure it's under 2 megabytes because YouTube will not accept a thumbnail larger than, I think, 2.2 megabytes, but I just keep it below 2. And then for the live stream, I go change thumbnail, blammo. Now for everyone that's watching this after it gets saved, they'll see that thumbnail there. So that's it. If you wanted to live stream a video, a replay, that's the way you could do it. And of course, if you want to turn a replay into an edited video, you'll have to use the video editing software of your choice and clip things together nicely the way you want. I showed you a few different ways to play with the camera controls, but I highly recommend you get into doing that for yourself. And that's going to mean that you have to watch the replay like 2 or 3 or 4 times in order to get the material that you want. And you know, that's just the way it is. It takes a long time to make these things if you do more than just sit there and tell people what's going on. And sometimes I do it quick, and other times I spend the extra time and make a carefully crafted product, and then watch the birds poop all over it anyway. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this showed you a few things about making replays. I just decided to make this video on a whim, and that's why I did it live. And we got to share that absolutely insane match together. Alright guys, catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.